Gaining phase week 14. So this week's weekly average weight was 75.45. So that is a gain of 0.25 from last week. This week's weekly average steps have been 11,148. Training endurance, 3 out of the 4 sessions only complete this week, but starting a new training phase in this coming week. Few sleep issues, quite a lot of stress issues this week, but no hunger issues. Fatigue lethargy has been a little bit high. Over the next week, there's not too much coming up though, so I should be able to stick to a nutrition plan and excited to start the new training phase. Good morning. I had a terrible night's sleep. I had a nightmare, which I've not had nightmares for years, but I'm not going to tell you what my nightmare was in my dreams, because how boring is that when somebody starts telling you the dreams? Anyway, today's agenda. So Tuesday is my main check-in day. So I've actually got some check-ins on Mondays now as well, but Tuesday is my main check-in day where I do my bulk of my check-ins with my clients. I thought I'd go through that and maybe go through a check-in with my client, just because you can see then for people who work with me what they go through on a weekly basis. Obviously I keep in touch with most people, having a look at the programs and stuff and nutrition on a daily basis as well, but the weekly check-in is often where the changes will happen. So how my clients check in with me is pretty much exactly how I check in as well. So I've got an app. Everything's housed in the app, so the training program, the nutrition plan. There's something called the content library where there's all information in there as well. You'll also log the weight, the steps, everything you can think of is all in the app. It's pretty good, to be fair. What they'll do is on a weekly basis, so either their check-in day will be on a Sunday or a Monday. The following day, then I'll send them across their update. In their update, I'll film a Loom video going over to begin with their check-in form. So in the check-in form, there's a series of questions and things to rate themselves on. But basically, we'll be looking at weekly average weight, weekly average steps, training adherence. Then they'll be rating the sleep, stress, fatigue, and hunger levels. Once they've done that, I'll just check that they've planned their gym sessions for the following week in the calendar, ask if they've got any events coming up that might impact upon the nutrition and that they need to cycle the calories for. And then they'll also send me a voice note just giving me a breakdown of how the past week has been. Then every 4 weeks, they'll also upload centimetre measurements and photos as well, in which I'll compare and then assess where the body fat percentage is and be able to see how many centimetre measurements they've either lost or gained over the last 4 weeks. Once I've gone through the check-in form, I'll then go through their nutrition log. So I'll go through making sure that whatever targets we've set, whether that's calories, macros, that they're within their targets that we've set. Then I'll click on a couple of days just to have a look at the food choices they've made as well. Once I've done that, we'll then go through the training program, making sure that they've hit all the progressions, completed all the sessions. And then if there's any changes to be made, that's where we'll make them in the weekly check-in. So I've got just over 20 check-ins to get through today. I usually try and do about 5 check-ins, about an hour, just over an hour. And then I'll have a little bit of a break. Once we've got all through today's check-ins as well, I'm actually going to pay for a day pass at a new gym. I want to start filming more within the gym. The current gym I go to is just a little bit too small, and having tripods out, it just be in the way, whereas this gym, it's a little bit further out, so I'll have to drive to it instead of being able to walk, but it's a much bigger space, so I feel as though it won't be an issue me having my tripod out. So I'm going to pay for a day pass, and if there's any gym footage in this video, then you know I've managed to film myself. I also just feel a bit awkward filming myself in public gyms. I've never really done it yet. Like, if I've ever filmed myself, I've usually been with someone else, and even then it still feels a bit awkward. I don't know why. I suppose it's that thing that, you know, in the past, probably when I saw people filming themselves in public gyms, I'd just be like, oh, get on with your session and this and that. And now look, I'm doing the exact same thing. So we'll try and get some gym footage, and then after that we'll be back, tie up the day. So to finish the day, I'll do a little bit of journaling, which I won't go through, making sure that everybody's messages have been answered, and I'll have some social media stuff to do before that first thing this morning actually as well. So yeah, quite a busy day. And then obviously just evening meal, it's Katie's turn to cook this evening. I've cooked the last 2 days, and then I'll just be chilling out. So a bit of a busy day, so I'm going to crack on with this morning now. So I'm going to finish my coffee, read a little bit. So I've actually just finished my last book, so I've only got the Daily Stoic. I always just read a page of that every morning. Once I've done that, I'll meditate, straight into social media stuff and breakfast. Okay, so before I start the first lot of check-ins, I'm going to get all my social media stuff done for the day. So that'll just be getting back to messages, inquiries about coaching, plan my stories, get a story up at least, and then just make sure everybody's checked in, and everybody who's missed check-ins, I'll send them a message as well. So I'll do this for probably about an hour, and then going to have breakfast, which has increased from last week. I have increased calories up a little bit, so I'll go through changes I've made with breakfast as well. Okay, social media stuff done, so I'm now going to have breakfast, and I thought it'd be a really good opportunity to actually speak about this. So I was on a call with a client on Friday, and he's completed a successful fat loss phase, done really well, dropped like I think about 12-13 kilos, something like that. Then he went into the maintenance phase, and then he went into the gaining phase, or bulk, whatever you want to call it. And one of the things that he's struggled with when we were chatting on the call is that he was trying to eat a relatively, let's say, quote unquote, clean diet or healthy diet, as he was calling it, which you absolutely should do. But I think we should almost get rid of the term, when we're talking about food, healthy or unhealthy. And I think what we need to use is more or less nutritious. I actually had someone as well, message me yesterday. They sent me a picture of one of my good friends actually. He sent me a picture of, he was arguing with somebody about whether this meal was healthy or not, and sent me a picture of it. And he was like, cheese can't be healthy, can it? And I think that's where we need to move away from this healthy or not healthy and refer to foods as more or less nutritious. So I would class cheese as a less nutritious food. If we think about it, it's very small, very calorie dense, a lot of fat in there as well, which I'm not saying is a good or a bad thing, although probably the types of fats in certain cheeses are the best. But yeah, that's why I think we need to move towards, like, let's say, more or less nutritious. Cheese would be an example of a food that's less nutritious, but then let's take, for instance, a piece of fruit. Let's take, like, a pear, for example, just because I've looked over and seen pears in the fruit bowl here. This would be a food that's more nutritious, and the reason for that is there's a lot of food volume for what you eat. You're going to get a lot of vitamins, a lot of minerals, a lot of fiber, all from this. Whereas if you used to have like a bit of cheese that's a tenth of the size of that, it's probably almost going to match it for calories wise, and it's just not going to fill you up as much. So rather than viewing foods as good or bad, or healthy or not healthy, I think we need to start viewing them and speaking to them about more or less nutritious. That would be the advice I would suggest. So I'm going to have my breakfast now. So what I've upped my breakfast to is, because last week, so about 3 weeks ago, I didn't hit the target rate of weight gain, so I upped my calories, which I'm glad I did, because even now I'm still struggling to gain the right amount of weight on a weekly and monthly basis. So I upped my calories. I'm now at 3,100. So I'm very cautious about, at breakfast, having too many carbs. Well, in any meal, having too many carbs. I try and split it. Like, max I'll go to is about 75 grams. For me personally, that works quite well. When I start going above that number, it's not a magic number, it's just from what I've personally noticed, that's where I tend to crash a little bit. So I try for aim for about 75 grams of carbohydrates at each meal, except for breakfast, but I'm gonna have to up it a little bit. So I'm having my bagel, 4 eggs, I'm gonna have a piece of fruit and a yogurt as well now, just because I do need to start getting more calories in, because it is getting to that point now in the gaining phase, which it always will do. Like, I was doing well gaining on 2,900 calories for quite a long time. Now I'm up to like 3,100, and even then, like, the scale rate is going up a little bit slower, but I'm really cautious. I'd rather kind of go a little bit too slow with the rate of weight gain than too much. What you tend to find is people, when they do like a bulk or a gaining phase, something like that, that they end up just gaining more fat than what's necessary. And then when it comes to the end of the bulk and they're going down to cut again, when you do a diet, you are going to lose some muscle mass. And when people do that, then do the cut, end up kind of just realizing they've gained a lot of fat, not a lot of muscle. And then when the diet, they're kind of losing a little bit of muscle, obviously predominantly fat, from what they've done. So I'd rather just avoid doing that. And that's why, if we look at a lot of the research as well, it always kind of promotes and suggests you should do a slow bulk or a slow gaining phase, which is the reason why I'm choosing to do it like this and just being patient with it. And I'm actually really enjoying it. It's just nice having a challenge and having something to focus and work towards again with my training and nutrition. Like, as much as you know, it can be nice at times not tracking and being in a bit of a maintenance phase, maintenance without tracking, I should say. I do enjoy tracking. I do enjoy the challenge of it, the discipline of it, the consistency of it. I think that's the biggest thing to get over at first when you start this stuff, and then once you get used to it, you actually miss it. That would be my advice to most people who say, oh, I don't want to track my nutrition because I think it's obsessive or whatever their qualm is with it. I think all I'd say is just try it, and then when you actually realise it's not as bad as what you think, once you get past the first 2 to 4 weeks and build the skill level of it, you start to really enjoy it. And when you don't do it, you actually kind of miss it a little bit, just having that little bit of discipline and adherence, really. So I'm going to finish cooking this and then have this, and then I'll get 5 chickens done, and then we'll go for a morning walk, which I've started to do a little bit more of to get out, because I wasn't leaving the house till probably like 1, 2 p.m, which sounds really bad, doesn't it? Just because I was working so much, which is absolutely fine. Like, I enjoy working. That's not a bad side of things. But after getting the blood test results back and seeing that my vitamin D was in the acceptable range, but on the lower end of it, one of the things I want to do is, rather than just supplementing straight away with vitamin D, is just get outside and just get some natural vitamin D more. So we'll have this. Once we've done this, check-ins, and then out for a morning walk. All right, so I'm going to start check-ins. Going to do 5 check-ins. I tend to try and get Australian clients answered first. So I've got clients worldwide now. We've got clients in Australia, Thailand, America, Netherlands, obviously in the UK, and Malaysia. We've actually got one client as well. So I'll try to get the Australian ones done first, just because obviously the time difference, so they can get their feedback early, and then work through the rest of them. So we'll get 5 check-ins done now. And then, even though it is belting it down with rain, we are going to get out for a walk today. All right, so 5 check-ins done. I'm supposed to usually go on a walk at this time, but it's absolutely bouncing it down with rain. So I think I'm going to go later this afternoon. So I'm going to have now another coffee, piece of fruit, yogurt, little break just for about 10 minutes, and then back in, and 5 more check-ins to get through, and then we'll have another break. All right, so I've got one more block of check-ins, and I've got a nutrition needs analysis and plan to write after I've had my lunch. So again, lunch exactly the same every single day. Very boring, chicken and rice, but I love it. Like, for me, I always used to be like worried sharing what I eat, thinking that people are going to think, oh, you know, that's very boring to eat. But to be honest with you, boring's what's effective a lot of the time. Like, taking away decision fatigue and just being able to eat the same foods every single day and not thinking about it, like, for me, works wonders. Now, I know that doesn't work for everybody, but it just makes things so much easier for me. And just by having a meal like this, again, going back to the more or less nutritious foods, this meal, very, very nutritious in terms of a lot of fiber intake, a lot of protein intake, very low on calories for the amount of food volume as well. So there's so many boxes it ticks that it allows me to have a little bit more flexibility and freedom in my diet later in the day and evening. So I'm going to have this, then I'm going to finish final block of check-ins. I've got the nutrition needs analysis and plan to write, and then going to head to the new gym and just see what the crack is there. All right, gym time. So yeah, all work is pretty much finished. So we've got all the check-ins done, the nutrition needs analysis and plan sent out. So pretty much everything done for today, and obviously social media stuff. Got a few messages to catch up on when we get back, and then I'm actually meeting one of my clients who's from Cornwall, who I've not seen before, who's here for the cricket, so I'm going to meet him after this. So I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to try this new gym. Let's see if there's any footage that's in this video, then I've been able to film in there. If not, you'll have to wait another day. Today's session, another full body session. I know at the start I've got hack squat, I think it's flat dumbbell bench press, plate loaded rows, dumbbell RDLs, maybe EZ bar bicep curl, and I think it is bicycle crunch as well today. So I think that's what the session is anyway. So that'll probably take me about an hour actually, that session, to be fair. Now things are getting a little bit heavier. So once we've done that, back, post-workout meal, and then off to go meet Will. All right, gym finished. I actually managed to get some training footage in, which I'm sure you'll have seen just before this video. So yeah, it was a good session. It's always a weird one when you train at a new gym. It's kind of a bit of a feeling out process, finding out where all the kit is, what machines they've got, and then whatever exercise you do, the weights all feel different. So it's just figuring that out. Gym was really good though. Definitely will be able to film in there. Still feel a little bit awkward doing it, filming in public gyms. Just having a tripod set up and in front of people. Whatever it is, I just need to get over it and do it, I suppose, don't I? But yeah, it was good. It's a good gym. There's a bit to think about. Obviously, I'm gonna have to drive to the gym now. I prefer walking because it is that little bit further out. The machines were really good, probably better than the gym I'm at now. But there is a couple of things missing. There was the hammer strength calf raise. I don't know why they didn't seem to have like a standing calf raise machine. I suppose you can do it on the Smith machines and set up the box, but it's a bit of a pain and do it with the leg press as well. So I did do it with the leg press actually, which I've not been doing, which was pretty good. Then what else was there? But everything else was pretty good. The kit all seemed to be pretty decent, so that's not too concerning. But yeah, I'll have to have a think because my membership at the other gym runs out this week, so I might just try filming in the gym I'm at now and see if that's a better one to film in, because the lighting wasn't great, which you'll see on that last one. But it was good to film myself because the exercise I've wanted to film for a while now to see how my technique is the cable overhead tricep extension with the bar and with the rope. I did with the bar today, just because there was a paper that came out last year that talks about when you do overhead work for the triceps, you target all three of the tricep heads, and that's due to being in that really big deep stretch position. It's something to do with the long length partials, which have obviously come quite popular over the last year, which I've been playing around with as well. So yeah, so it was good to do and see my technique because it feels good. Like I definitely feel the triceps working and I've noticed an improvement from it, but there's nothing like being able to see your own technique back and give yourself feedback and work through it. All right, so that is all for today. So obviously I'm supposed to be meeting Will in a couple of hours, a client from Cornwall, so it'll be good to catch up with him. Once I'm back there, have dinner with Katie, and then that'll be this evening watching Mobland at the moment, which is pretty good. And then on Thursday, so this will be Sunday you're watching this, so on Thursday there is the new educational video coming out, which is the 2 things to not do when you finish a diet, and then what you should do, because this is like one of the most common things where I see people, they hit the goal weight, hit their target body fat percentage, whatever it is, and they think, yeah, I'm finished, and then 6 months later, they've regained all the weight back, and that's something that I really, really, really want to stop happening. So definitely check out that video. All right, until next week.